He walked in with his new wife on his arm, smiling like he owned the world, until the richest man in the city leaned down and kissed his ex-wife right on the lips. Aisha felt the kiss like armor. Zayn Ahmed's lips were warm, deliberate, claiming. Not a stunt, a statement. She let the moment stretch, emerald sari shimmering under the lights, the black diamond choker at her throat flashing like a warning. When Zayn pulled back, his eyes, storm gray, steady, held hers. "You okay?" he murmured. She nodded once. The room exhaled. Across the marble floor, Rayhan's jaw twitched. Sanaa's smile curdled. "Who is she?" she hissed. Rayhan's lie came too fast. Nobody. But his eyes betrayed him, flicking to the woman he'd discarded like yesterday's stock report point 2 years ago. Aisha had been nobody. 22 when she married Rayhan under fairy lights in her parents' lawn, promising forever while he promised the moon. She'd funded his first app with her graphic design gigs, stayed up coding logos at 3 a.m. while he partied with investors. She believed his late nights were ambition. Until the night she came home early and found Sanaa's red heels by the door, Rayhan's shirt on the floor, and her husband's voice in the dark. "You were the starter wife, Aisha. Sanaa's the upgrade." He took the company, left her the debts. The divorce papers cited irreconcilable differences. She signed them in the rain, mascara bleeding like her future, but Aisha didn't break. She built. From her one-bedroom flat in Gulshan, she mixed shea butter and saffron in her kitchen, testing formulas on her own melanin-rich skin. Posted the results on TikTok, raw, real, radiant. "Glow isn't a filter," her caption read. The video hit 10 million views. Orders flooded. Zayn Ahmed, billionaire, recluse, the man who turned sand into servers, saw it at 3 a.m. in his Malir Beach house. He didn't just invest. He showed up. Now at the gala, Rayhan recovered first. He dragged Sanaa forward, voice loud enough for the circle of aunties nearby. Aisha, still chasing validation. His laugh was glass. "Careful. Some men collect broken things." Zayn's arm slid around her waist. "Funny," he said, voice low lethal. "I only collect winners." The aunties gasped again. Aisha's smile was a blade. "Rayhan, meet the man who turned my broken into a 9-figure brand." Rayhan's face purpled. Sanaa tugged his sleeve. "Let's go." But he couldn't. Not yet. He leaned in, breath sour with whiskey. "You think one kiss erases what you were?" Desperate. Clinging. Always begging me to. Aisha cut him off. "I beg you to love me. You taught me to love myself." She turned to Zayn. "Dance?" They moved to the center floor as the orchestra swelled. Rayhan watched his ex-wife, once curled on their couch in his old t-shirt, now gliding in the arms of Pakistan's most powerful man. Every step was a reminder. She'd risen without him. Because of him. Later, on the balcony, Karachi's skyline glittered like spilled diamonds. Aisha's hands shook on the railing. The kiss had been armor, but armor still pinched. Zayn appeared beside her, silent. He didn't ask, just offered a monogrammed handkerchief. She took it. "I used to think love was sacrifice," she said, voice raw. "I gave him everything. He gave me scars." Zayn's fingers brushed her cheek. "Scars are just stories you survived." He tilted her chin. "Let me write the next chapter." Inside, Rayhan cornered a journalist by the bar. "Aisha Khan." She slept her way to funding. Classic. The lies spread faster than the canapes. By midnight, shady Instagram stories bloomed. Broken hearts, snake emojis, Sanaa's smug face. Aisha saw them on the way home. Zayn's driver navigated the rolls through defense's neon veins. She scrolled, thumb still. "He'll never stop," she whispered. Zayn took her phone. "Then we don't stop either." He typed a single tweet from her account. "My glow isn't borrowed. It's earned. Watch me shine brighter." Attached, a photo of her factory, rows of women in hijabs packing Aisha's glow jars, smiles fierce. The internet erupted. Hashtag Melanin Magic trended. Rayhan's smear drowned in retweets. But the war wasn't over. Rayhan's startup teetered. Investors spooked by his personal drama. Sanaa's follower count dipped. The cricketer DM'd her back. And Aisha? She flew to Dubai for her first Sephora Middle East launch. Zayn met her at the tarmac with roses the color of midnight on the yacht that night. He recited Urdu poetry he'd practiced for weeks. Tum chandani ho, main sitara, tumhari roshni mein hai chamakta ho. You are moonlight. I am the star. I shine only in your light. She laughed through tears. You're terrible at pronunciation. I'm excellent at meaning, he said, and kissed her again. This time, no audience. Just the Arabian Sea and the truth. She was enough. The balcony doors clicked shut behind them, sealing the gala's murmur outside. Aisha's pulse still hammered from the kiss, from Rayhan's venom, from the weight of 500 eyes. Zayn's hand settled at the small of her back, warm through silk. Breathe, he said. She did. Salt air from the Arabian Sea drifted up, mixing with jasmine from the hotel gardens below. Karachi's lights blinked like a million fireflies that refused to die. I used to stand on balconies like this, she said, voice low, praying he'd come home sober, praying I was enough. Zayn didn't fill the silence with platitudes. He listened. When she turned, tears silvered her lashes. He caught one with his thumb. You were always enough. He was the one running on empty. Inside Rayhan's head, the night curdled. He watched them disappear through the glass. Aisha's sari trailing like a comet. Sanaa's nails dug into his arm. Fix this, she hissed. She's making us look small. Rayhan's laugh cracked. Small? He built an empire on Aisha's sleepless nights. Now she glowed without him. He yanked out his phone, thumbs flying. Anonymous tip to a gossip site. Tech heiress Aisha Khan traded favors for funding. Sources say Zayn Ahmed isn't her first investor. He hit send, stomach twisting with cheap triumph. Morning broke over defense in pinks and golds. Aisha woke in Zayn's penthouse. Guest room, silk sheets, floor-to-ceiling windows framing the city she'd once begged to love her back. Her phone buzzed like a hornet. Notifications stacked. Slander, screenshots, Sanaa's Instagram story. A black and white photo of a cracked mirror captioned some reflections lie. Aisha's fingers hovered. Delete? Respond? She chose neither. She opened her laptop instead. By noon, her team, 10 women in hijabs and hoodies, filled the factory floor in Karachi. Conveyor belts hummed. Jars of midnight rose serum gleamed under LED lights. Aisha live-streamed from the packing line. They want to talk about how I got here? She held up a jar. This is how. Late nights. Burned batches. Sisters who believed in melanin before it was a hashtag. Chat exploded. Fire emojis, crying faces, wallets opening. Sales spiked 400% in an hour. Zayn watched from the doorway. Arms crossed, pride sharp in his chest. He'd funded the factory, yes, but Aisha had filled it with magic. He stepped in, rolled up his sleeves, boxed orders beside aunties who called him Beta, and slipped him extra samosas. When a reporter cornered him outside, "Is it true you bought her success?" Zayn smiled, lethal calm. "I bought potential. She delivered excellence." Next question. Rayhan's week unraveled like cheap thread. Investors ghosted. His lead coder quit. "I don't work for liars." Sanaa packed Louis Vuitton into a waiting Uber destination. Cricketer's Seaview apartment in Clifton. She left a post-it on the fridge, upgrade complete. Rayhan tore it down, whiskey burning his throat. He refreshed Aisha's Instagram. Her Dubai photo shoot, Zayn's hand on her waist, Burj Khalifa blazing behind them. The caption, "Some men build towers. Others just tear women down." Aisha landed back in Karachi on a red eye, eyes bright with jet lag and victory. Zayn met her at the private terminal. No driver, just him in a black Thar, AC/DC low on the stereo. He opened the door, then her heart. "I practiced something," he said, shy for the first time. He recited Foiz in stumbling Urdu, voice cracking on Mohabbat. "Love." She kissed him quiet. "You had me at the terrible meter." They drove to Malir Beach at dawn. Waves hissed secrets to the sand. Zayn spread a Kashmiri shawl, unpacked thermos chai, and par the rolls. He told her about his own scars. Father's bankruptcy, boarding school fists, The night he swore he'd never beg for love again. Then you walked into that pitch room, he said, voice shaking, prototype smudged on your wrist, and I thought, there's someone who turned pain into perfume. Aisha traced the salt and pepper in his beard. I was terrified you'd see the cracks. He turned her palm up, kissed the faint burn mark from a rogue stove. Cracks let the light in. Months blurred into magazine covers. Forbes 30 under 30. Vogue Arabia. Aisha's face, unfiltered, unapologetic, on billboards from Lahore to London. Rayhan's startup folded quietly. The office became a co-working space for female founders. He spotted the sign one rainy afternoon, Aisha's Glow Incubator, and stood in the downpour until security asked him to move. 1 year later, same gala, same chandeliers, different queen. Aisha stepped in wearing liquid gold, the fabric catching light like liquid metal. Zayn followed, eyes only for her. The orchestra played Tum Hi Ho. Rayhan sat alone at a corner table. Thai askew, invitation courtesy of a pitying cousin. He watched Zayn lead Aisha to the center floor, watched her laugh at something whispered in her ear, watched the room orbit them like they were sun and moon. Then Zayn sank to one knee. The music stopped. A velvet box opened. Black diamond, 10 carats, cut to catch every shade of her skin. Gasps. Phones up. Rayhan's glass slipped, shattered. Zayn's voice carried. Aisha Khan, you turned my investment into a revolution, my nights into poetry, my heart into home. Marry me. Let's build empires and sunsets and every tomorrow. She cried, nodded. The ring slid on like it was forged for her soul. The room erupted. Aunties dabbed coal-smudged eyes. Someone started the dolky beat. Aisha pulled Zayn up, kissed him fierce in front of God and gossip. Rayhan stood, chair scraping, and walked out into the night. No one noticed. Wedding montage. Aisha in crimson lehenga heavy with Swarovski, Zayn in Sherwani the color of midnight. Nika under a canopy of marigolds. Her father's hand trembled signing the papers. Pride, not age. Zayn's mother tied the dupatta, whispering, she's the daughter I prayed for. Fireworks over the industry. Aisha's skincare empire now employed 2,000 women. Factories in 3 countries. Scholarships for girls who looked like her. Voiceover, soft, steady. He thought my melanin was a flaw. Zayn saw it as magic. Real love doesn't dim your light. It builds spotlights. Cut to Aisha on the factory floor, hijabi chemist high-fiving her. Cut to Zayn carrying their newborn. Tiny fist curled around his finger, skin the perfect blend of midnight and dawn. Cut to Rayhan, gray at the temples, scrolling LinkedIn, seeing Aisha's TED Talk. 50 million views. He closes a laptop. Fade out.